Call meeting to order, please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman Shaw, will you lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts, and we ask you to give us wisdom as we make decisions that will affect our community. We ask you to bless and protect our employees, our police officers, and our first responders, and keep them safe. We thank you for the members of the military, both past and present, and ask that you keep them safe. And we pray that we will always be aware of your guidance in everything we do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Mr. Thomas, I guess we'll have you showing up. He said he's feeling better today. He said he's feeling very good, but he's starting therapy, so.
Motion to excuse me.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
All right, the minutes.
Motion for the minutes?
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Excuse me. Bills. Look at the bills.
Make a motion.
She already did.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
Second.
Hazel made a motion?
Yes.
I'll second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Hourly workers' time report. And
And you will see that the one is by fire only,
the payroll, yeah.
and it shows you the payroll that was expensed out last week for the firemen.
Thank you, Deb. Fireman's time.
Motion.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Okay, Cliff, you are up.
Uh, We received $10,211.93 from OVWC on 11/5/2020, and that is one on the ordinance that I typed today. It was ordinance 2020 that we'll read later. Put it into our records for appropriations. I copied documents for you where two items were in question from previous meetings. I looked up some information, did some research. You have that to review and address it either tonight or another time. I have the pay information as far as alt care. Alt care was going to go up 4%, and Mike Sesser got it down to 3% increase. Humana went up 4% this time, and Morgan White, who does the amount for our deductible, it's 0%. I need to get these documents in and signed. Do you want to approve them all? What do you want to do with this?
This is for insurance?
This is for our health insurance. I brought it up
Yeah, but I thought,
about two meetings ago.
didn't we pass that in August? This is,
No, this is to actually, that was the liability insurance in August. This is for our health insurance for the employees.
oh, Mr. Sesser usually should.
What's the number on that, Debbie?
What do you mean, what number? There isn't a number.
Okay.
But somebody has a 0% increase?
There is no increase. There was no increase with Morgan White. Morgan White is the company, because we've had the deductible so high, Morgan White carries the deductible for us, and there was no increase in their rates to us.
But their rates are a lot higher than Sesser.
Well, you'd have to look at the bills that I pay and compare what I pay each month. I think what you're thinking is the rates are less expensive than what we pay all care. But off the top, I can't quote you what any of the rates are without pulling a bill and looking at it.
Well, I don't know it, I mean, how can we vote on something when we don't know what all the rates are?
Well, you don't have to vote, but you need to come in and look it up, or spend time working on it,
Mhm.
because we have to decide if
I
people
didn't
have
realize
insurance.
you had all those different quotes.
Well, the quote, the quote didn't change. What changed was our increase from the past year is what went up. What we paid a year ago went up by the percents. There is no quote. All Care was our initial insurance that we had. Morgan White we had, and Humana we had. That's what we've been carrying.
And they all have the same benefit?
What do you mean? They
I
all,
mean, they all pay the same on your insurance?
who? They all who?
Well, didn't you say, All Care, the other two?
All Care is your health insurance.
Okay,
Humana is your eye and dental.
okay.
And Morgan White, because our deductible is so high, all they cover is the deductible for the employees, to allow us to take it from a $4,000 deductible down to a $1,000.
Okay, so you've got all the same insurances, but it's just Morgan White.
Is it 0% increase? All Care went up 4% from, well, 3%, mine got down to 3% from last year, and Humana went up 4%.
Oh, okay, we're not changing insurances, we're just,
Yeah, I understand that now, that she explained it. I thought they were all for the same thing, competing against each
No,
other.
no.
I make a motion, we, keep the same insurances and,
Accept the increase?
pardon me,
Accept the increase.
accept the increase, yes.
I'll second.
Bennett,
Yes?
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yeah.
The holiday donations to the churches, are you gonna do that this year?
Did we do all the churches in the village?
Yeah, we did, and
How much did we give them
I
last?
knew you were gonna ask me, and
I think it's 100.
I wanna say it's 100.
100 each church?
And it was, we lost this one, but we picked up the one that the church that's held down,
Right.
down there.
Is the one still at the Legion, by the way?
I'd have to check out, no idea. It's
Well
not-
then, I make a motion, we donate to the churches again this year.
That gives us about 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Second?
4.
4? Okay.
What for?
Which one is the other two?
That's
Lutheran?
3. I counted this one twice.
Oh, believe it.
I went down the hill and came back up.
Bennett,
Yes?
Richards,
Can I
Yes.
get home now?
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
$100.
Schott,
Yes. I asked, can I go home?
no. And then we did receive again a donation request from Camp Wanakee.
I'm not.
Okay. The next would be your legislation. We have the third reading of ordinance 20-16, an ordinance to amend and modify the personnel handbook and any other applicable legislation governing sick leave payout upon retirement will be your third reading.
Motion to pass?
McKinney, was that you?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
yes.
Can I ask one question on that before?
Mhm.
Wasn't it, is it 30 days or what was the thing on that?
It went up to, I wanna say 480 hours, which is the 60 days.
Second?
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
It'll be your second reading, and if we could pass it tonight, if not, it just goes into December. An ordinance to increase the 2020 appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the fund accounts of the Village of Beach City, Ohio. This is where I'm listing $35,351.07 of COVID-19 money that we have begun spending, and E2 is for sewer, and I believe that is for the money for the lift station from the insurance company.
Can we leave it go to the third reading or you want it passed?
You can do whatever you want. I already put it on the books. I can't wait until the end of December.
It's deemed necessary for an emergency.
And what is the number on that?
2017.
I'll motion to suspend the rules.
I second that.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Motion to pass.
Second?
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, ordinance 2019. Tell me you have that.
Yes.
Okay, good. An ordinance making the temporary appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Beach City, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021 will be your first reading.
Did you skip 2018?
I think we already did that.
Okay.
If I didn't, then I skipped it.
I don't think we did, Deb.
That's the one on the pay raise.
Yeah,
We had the first reading at the last meeting.
I thought so
that's what I
too.
thought.
Oh, you know what, I needed a copy of that, that's why I don't have that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Oh, thanks. Be your second reading of ordinance 2018, an ordinance establishing salaries, hourly rates of pay and benefits for positions in the service of the Village of Beach City. And regular session sitting, be your second reading. Can I copy this, Mayor?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be around.
You've got ordinance
2020.
2020, yeah.
Emergency.
Be the first reading of an ordinance to increase the 2020 appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the fund accounts of the Village of Beach City, Ohio. The amount is for $10,000 to $1193, which represents the amount that we got back last week from Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation. It's for the 2019 rates that I paid in for the entire year. Do your first reading, or we could do the second reading and pass, but I'm gonna be putting it on the book, so it's up to you.
This has to be on by the end of the year.
End of the year, yes.
I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second?
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Motion to pass, second.
Second.
Slow down, boys.
It's not a competition.
Okay,
boys.
I'm sorry, who did the motion?
Bailey
Mr.
did.
Bailey.
And McKinney, you seconded it?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Bennett, Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes. Can you pass the sign-in sheet? Does Brandy have it here? That,
Yes.
Okay, resolution 2010, second reading. A resolution authorizing, directing the mayor and the clerk of the village of Beach City, Ohio to sign the contract with Stephen Baddick, solicitor for the year 2021. And here we go again. Resolution 20-11. A resolution making an increase to the permanent appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Beach City, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. These amounts, as I explained to you, represent the amount of money that was placed in the payroll fund. I am actually increasing it to these figures. When we do the permanent appropriations each year, they want us to break out what we spend in payroll and benefits, and all the other money goes to other accounts. So I'm assuming if I had to spend more money in these accounts, then I have to have you approve to make the change, and that's what this is. I'm not doing any money, I'm just moving it from one of the other line items up to payroll with your approval.
in the same category.
Same category, it just goes from maybe other
Yeah.
to this. And we can use it as a second reading because I've already done it. I have to do it to keep moving. So that's what that is gonna represent. And that is it.
Very good, Deborah. Mr. Quicksaw, we will, I know you got some good news for us, so.
Yeah, we do. Thanks, Mayor. I just came here today to update council on the progress of the paving job that we designed, bid out, and are ready to award. We're gonna make a recommendation. We had 6 qualified bidders for the paving of Main Street from 2nd all the way down to 5th. So it's a good portion of Main Street there. We had 2 low bidders that were very, very close to one another. We've done references. We are gonna hold that the lowest bid is the awardable bid. We've done some reference checks on them. We've worked with them in the past. We know they're a legitimate company out of Canton. It's Central Allied. So we're gonna recommend that council approves a notice of award to Central Allied for the 2020 paving job for Main Street. The importance of passing or getting signatures for this in this council session is that we have to be under contract with the contractor before the end of this year, according to the funding rules through Stark's Municipal Road Funds. So they aren't gonna do any paving until next spring, but we need to be under contract with them this year.
What was the price, by the way?
The total for the bid is $110,343 and some change. So, our engineer's estimate was 141. So they're well below our awardable bid and under what the funded amount
They're
is.
scarfing it off and then repaving it
Yeah, that's right.
with
Yeah,
the stuff.
yeah, that's right. They're actually gonna be doing, if you look at the tire well, the wheel well path, heading the westbound on the right side, we're calling for that to all be basically milled down 4 inches, put back good intermediate and base course, and then we're gonna mill the entire road along with that, but that's just to reinforce that area there along your curb line that is pretty soft and starting
Yeah,
to,
the worst part we got is in front of the post office where everybody parks at.
yeah.
The gasoline drops there, the air conditioner drops
Right.
there.
Right. Yeah, that's all, we're basically gonna come out with them and tell them, okay, these are the areas that we want, you guys to do this particular type of improvement. And we're gonna go through there and mark it with them and walk it through with them.
There's one thing I brought up to the administrator.
Mhm.
We got a problem over here at the fire station. And there's water lays at the end of the driveway
Mhm.
on the left-hand side. And it won't go away.
Yeah,
I had an idea to dig down, and we got about this much room, it's ours,
mhm.
to dig down and put something in there to get this water down. If you could look into it for later,
Okay,
because we can do that even if we go ahead and do this the way it is right now. You
Yeah,
get with Greg and he'll
Yeah.
show you where it's at.
yeah, we'll definitely get together. If there's anything we can do with this project, we will, but it may just come down to trying to push the water to the nearest catch basin if there's one nearby.
It won't work.
Yeah.
I've been watching this thing for a long time. Okay, so do we have an ordinance made up by the lawyer to go ahead and pass this?
I do not know. What we have here is just a cover letter. We've got instructions for, well, this is a comparison of the two low bids. We've got a notice of award. That is just a signature that's being asked for from the mayor.
And Nate, we can review this and then by our next council vote on it, or do you want us to vote on it tonight? Because I was thinking of that, but then I was looking at it and thinking, we still have one, we can probably, I don't know how they can vote, but suspend rules and vote before December 31st, so we have it awarded, and then
Yeah.
we have them under contract.
But there may be some time also of, passing agreements, getting those signed,
Okay.
getting them signed by the village. We're kind of cutting it close right
Yeah.
now,
I think we have one.
if we're passing it.
That's why I was thinking we had a resolution to go ahead and go with these guys.
Can we have the lawyer look at this and see if we can pass it or we can't
I
do
don't
it?
see why we can't.
Just give me a minute, let me pull, because we did legislation to go into this project to have the mayor
That's what I
be
thought.
approved to sign all the documents.
Okay, it
Yeah.
says, and sign in.
I think I'm just
It
being
may be,
extension
I
of
can
that.
look
it up.
We
Maybe
can
it's the
have it
word.
tonight. I mean, I was just,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure, all right.
Right, absolutely, yeah. We just want to make sure that everything's done according to the book and,
And who are you with?
Quixel and Associates out of New Philadelphia.
You know, when you go to leave tonight, when you go up the road,
Okay.
just look at that spot.
You said it's right in front of the firehouse?
It's the last thing going west,
Okay,
on past the cement, and then there's an area about like this here,
okay,
and you can't get rid of the water. It won't go either way.
okay.
Just look at it and see what you can do. If
Yeah,
you can't,
absolutely,
I
yeah.
understand. So she thinks that we passed that, so you can go ahead and sign that then, John.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did
I
too.
think you'd still have to approve the.
To approve
We
the
still had to
bid,
approve it by council, yeah,
we have to approve the
Award.
award.
right. And we will have, what, like $30,000, like extra for, in case something else shows up, right?
Not necessarily 30,000. That was the engineer's estimate.
Right.
We don't necessarily like to make it public how much you guys have. That's
Oh,
more to
sorry
protect,
about that. Yeah.
that's more to protect you guys. I mean, we'll let you know, but in this, obviously, that's your money. But that type of information gets out and contractors kind of take
I
that.
see what you're saying, yeah.
You know, you just want to be careful with,
I got you. Okay.
We're waiting on Debbie to come back. She's looking up something.
I'm not sure it disqualifies, I'll let the solicitor read it. Is it CPG money or whatever?
No, this is municipal road fund.
Oh, okay, it's municipal road.
Yeah. Is this the only one? I don't think this doesn't even cover it. No, there's no draft legislation in there, is there? I think we need the,
Well,
I think we need the legislation.
yeah.
Can we go ahead and accept 110,000 without making an ordinance on it, or you wanna just, since he's already authorized to sign it?
I don't know that we have the authorization to sign.
You
That's-
don't have it, it's not in the ordinances. There wasn't one created. Can we check the
Do
resolution?
you remember? Quick call.
If it says he has.
I do not.
Oh, we did that.
recall There's a,
You have it in your,
I thought there was an ordinance to
I
get
think I
the
have-
funding, but
yeah.
I don't know
Look at my file.
if that includes the notice of award.
Ratified at the next meeting. The risk is if they don't ratify it,
They don't ratify it.
We had to do something, I know that, or we wouldn't have ever did it.
It's 20 years old.
I remember when we decided to go with, Mr. Clipsall's.
there was a quick salt agreement, I remember that.
I remember that.
And that was in August 17th. We approved the agreement with Quicksalt.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that the funding was actually, when was that application due? That was spring, wasn't it?
Yeah, you mean for the 2020?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was way back, I was in,
January even maybe.
I can actually tell you, I have it right here, let's go find it.
I'm showing that
Yeah, 'cause we had to have that
in
in.
July, you told us that only one of your proposals got approved. And that was the one that you named to me. So that was when you got the approval, was July.
the only other one I saw that he was to sign had to do with, it was,
The deadline was February 14th. That's for an application for the municipal road fund for 2020.
was OPWC funding, that you gave him, for local transportation improvement programs and yada, yada, yada. It's correct, it was OPWC funding, it wasn't for the municipal road funding.
So we have to get a resolution.
So we're gonna need a resolution.
I think so, yeah. If there's no
Resolution or an ordinance.
ordinance, yeah, if there's no legislation on point. What did you say the consequence was if it's not returned by, it'll be December 7th? Is that gonna be okay? I mean, assuming it's passed by emergency?
Everything's good, we got-
Yeah, as long as the contracts are in place, and I don't know, this is my first time working with Stark County on this municipal road fund project, funding program. I don't know how strict they are on making sure the contracts are completed by December 31st, but
Well, the other thing I would say too, we've already filed an extension to get it out to December 31st. So, I mean, if we could, I just wanna get it done before we're in a pinch for something, you know?
We just,
And we'll have it by December 31st. We'll have it December 7th.
Yeah, we can pass it by emergency.
Make sure.
Yeah.
As long
yeah.
as you have all your people here to do
Yeah,
it, that's been the
yeah.
problem.
But is that gonna put you in a pinch as far as getting the agreements with?
Well, so, yeah, there's a few more steps after that. So, once you issue the notice of award, we'll get the contracts to the contractor. And then he has a certain period of time to turn this around to the village. Then the village has a certain number of days to get it back to them with their notice to proceed. So contracts are complete, they've been issued the notice to proceed at that point.
If you wait the
So it's
next month,
just-
they're gonna be late.
It may not be, but
Getting very.
it's getting close, but if there's no other option, then that's just what we're
The
gonna have
only
to
other
deal
option
with.
is I could type up the legislation, but I don't know.
Well, I have a note here that said, from 9/21, it says Greg, RE resolution for agreement with Quicksall, Deb and Stephen to rewrite.
Yeah,
So
and,
that makes it sound like you did one, but you needed to change it.
and the one, what was the date on that?
9/21,
That
The resolution,
was probably OPW.
says resolution. Yeah, it's OPWC.
Yeah, that's not
it's not the
this
same
one.
thing, that's the
Okay.
one I was looking at.
Oh, never mind then.
Sorry, I tried to use that one too, it didn't work.
We can make up an ordinance, can't we, Steve?
Can we get 5 people here next Monday? Next Monday, I mean,
You don't wanna
Are
take
you
a chance if
working
you can do
here?
it tonight.
Yeah, I get up at 5. It's
or
fine.
do- can we be here like at 6? Just, because it's only gonna take a couple of minutes, we just have to show up,
Yeah.
pass it.
I'll be here.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
close.
That's all right.
Just a minute, I see what Steve's come up with.
What I was saying is the only other option I would think is if I type up the ordinance right now, which I'm hesitant to do, I
I
don't
wouldn't
wanna.
want you to
Well-
do this, yes, I just send it over, we can do this.
Okay.
We all live in town, we're only a few blocks away.
Okay,
I don't see what, you know,
So what time you wanna be here, 5 o'clock or 5:30?
6, she has to work,
6?
yeah.
Okay, 6 o'clock next Monday?
Yeah, next Monday, and then if you're not here, I'll call you guys, so I'll send out a notice.
Would that work that day?
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
yeah.
That'll get it in before the
Sorry
end of
about
Yeah,
November.
no, there's no apologies needed, it's just, you know, we gotta go through that process,
Right,
and
that's-
these are the types of things we go through, so.
We'll know
it's-
next year whenever we do the rest of the road, you know,
Yeah,
hopefully we'll.
well, and we're going after this funding again, so,
Right,
um,
exactly.
Now it's already been submitted too, so.
Besides that, you'll know how Stark County works by that
yes,
time.
yeah, absolutely.
what other municipalities are there?
Mhm. All right, well, thank you, Ms. Quitzel, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
I'll get ahold of you.
Look at that on your way up, just
I will.
to see what you think.
All right, we got a fire thing here, from Mr. Anderson, fire report. The automatic CPR machines are in and are in service. We're working on purchasing the 2 iPads. Rescue 138 has the new drive tires on, still waiting on Ziegler for the T133s. Payroll has been paid. Dependency Board election of Dale Thompson and Kim Weaver. And you got those, right, Deb?
Yep,
The only thing that he wants money, he wants $7,410 for the hose, which will probably get us caught up on the hose. It's 1,500 feet of 2.5, 600 feet of 1 3/4.
Do they have to put down who they give that hose to? The old hose?
I think they scrapped it, you're not,
I don't think they can give
you're not allowed to
it
give
to
it to
No other
anybody.
fire department can use it.
No, because it's 1987, I think I've seen somewhere, yeah.
Well, I asked him the other day, is this gonna catch us up?
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
every year it seems like we just keep buying more hose and more
Well,
hose.
yeah, we have to because you keep using more hoses.
Well, and we've never approved
We've
it
never
all,
really-
we've only done parts of it.
Right, we've only done bits and parts. They let to go for so long, now I think this catches us up for a while.
Yeah, that's what
Debbie,
it's-
where's that money coming out of the,
Fire levy,
fire levy money,
and we got enough,
yes, he does.
motion to purchase it.
And then I'll second it.
I'm sure you have the quotes on that, if you wanna see them, I got.
We-
I bought
I
more
got
hose
a
over
copy
the
in
last
the
2 years.
I thought he said he could
Everybody should
like
have them.
repurchase it for something, or donate it for something, I can't remember.
I think I heard he paid Dale Thompson was gonna take it.
The, depends.
Oh,
Motion,
for both
I
dogs.
seconded it.
He said it's good for both dogs.
Bennett,
Yes,
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes,
and Chuck.
yes.
Thank you.
Now, we need one person from council for the dependency board, don't we, Deb?
I didn't even get that ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
That's
it next
fine.
time.
All right. Also, we have a resignation from the fire department. I, Jesse Bryan, hereby resign from Beach City Fire Department due to decisions made within Beach City Council and under no decision of my own. I would like to thank everybody for welcoming me with open arms, teaching me the ropes, giving me few life lessons along the way. My time spent here has been nothing but full of excitement, lots of learning experiences. Later down the road, if welcome back, I'd be more than happy to take it on again. Thank you, Jesse Bryan. He was told that, you know, if he wants to come back later on, it'll be fine.
Motion to accept the resignation.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards? Yes. McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Chuck?
Did you turn in everything?
Yes, oh yeah, he turned it in. Yep, I did talk to Bill about that. Yep, Aaron's turned in. All right, Chief Guy. What's more money?
I told him he wasn't allowed to get nothing anyway.
You did a little bit.
A little bit.
Unless he thought of something else while he was sitting over there.
I tried to.
He always does.
I know.
Nothing too exciting tonight. With COVID starting to pick back up, I'm gonna put a few more reinstate a couple restrictions on the officers, just make sure everyone's safe, nothing crazy. Just pretty much we'll make sure that they're wearing their masks like the governor wants them to, and social distancing, and make sure they take all precautions necessary to protect themselves and the public while they're dealing with them. Other than that, that's about all and more I'm doing as of, for COVID. We will have signs posted back on the doors for making sure that everyone is complying, wearing masks. As for businesses, the only thing that we can enforce with the masks is if someone comes in there refusing to wear a mask and refuses to leave, they can be charged for criminal trespass. Other than that, there's not a whole lot we can do. It's a health order, not a police issue. But we'll do what we can to help our businesses and protect everybody involved. And then, other than that, I have 2 officers that want to go to a training. I have not the exact number, but I've got plenty of money in my training account. It is a traffic safety and procedures, case law training. If my officers are willing to take a training, I'd be more than happy to send them. It's $300 per officer to attend this training. We have training left over from, or training funding left over a couple years back. We had, the state paid for some continuing professional training, and we have some funding for that that has to be used towards training. It'd be $300 per officer, and it would be Mitch King and Tyler Walker would like to attend that training.
When's the training start?
I believe it is in January.
And the two's gonna go together, or
They're gonna go to, yes.
where's that at?
Is that in Richfield?
It's
No,
Cleveland
I'm
area.
sorry. Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where it is. They just brought me paperwork, and it'd be good. And I also asked them when they come back that they give us through the whole department, give a Reader's Digest version of the training to the departments and go over what they learned with us and take good notes so that everyone can kind of.
So they'll bring you back a bill for the mileage and everything.
Um,
Are you including that in there?
I'm just paying for the class. I'll pay for the class and I'll pay for them to work there for the day.
Okay.
How long have these guys been with us?
Mitch since January, Tyler since
Around there too.
about a year,
And, how often do they work?
weekly. 1 to 2 days a week is what they're generally working. They consistently shown up on time and shown up for their shifts
They do show up on time?
They do show up on time, they do show up for their shifts, they do a great job for us. They're 2 of my really good officers.
I make a motion to send them to that training.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Chuck.
Yes.
And other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
I have a
Thanks.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
Last council, you invited council to come and view your location and all
Sure.
your updates and stuff.
Mhm.
And I'd like for you to pick a date that we could do that.
Okay. let's look and see when we can do that. We may wanna wait till this COVID spike goes back down, so we can, because it's kinda close in quarters there.
Okay,
But 100%, I'd love for you guys to come back.
okay, let's get the date.
If a majority appear and anybody discusses public business, it'll
Okay,
become
should we have
a
one at a
special
time,
meeting.
maybe?
Yeah, I would probably do,
Two can-
Sunshine laws.
Okay,
yeah,
Yeah, two.
to comply with COVID and that.
yeah, I would definitely, maybe we can do a special meeting, once COVID's kind of
Sure.
gone, maybe we do it prior to a council meeting.
Either that, or you could take it two sessions, 2 different days, and take part one day and part the other
It
day.
would have to be 3, it could be two people at a time, so it'd be 3 different. But like I said, I
That's
welcome,
fine.
welcome all you guys back there, we'll do it to make sure we're in compliance with sunshine laws and to help with the COVID, but I absolutely would love to bring you guys back there and show you everything, so, perfect.
I have a question too. Last meeting, there was a paper in our packet from the CIC, and it never got brought up during the meeting. And I did see a note on there that the vandalism is continuing at the park.
Oh, that was dated,
So she turned in a late
I
one?
think she turned that
Okay.
one
I was
in.
gonna
Yeah,
say, we
I-
should-
That's why I just wanted to ask about
those
it.
I did
cameras,
see that one,
I
yeah.
think it was dated for September.
I think it was, yeah.
Looked at it, please.
It caught my eye about the vandalism, so.
Did we ever get the other camera up that you guys were talking about?
no, I'm waiting on electric still, on the pole,
Well, I was
so,
just wondering.
No, it was that pen.
He was cooking and I held my pen up ready to stop it.
I will tell you, the
For a
kids have
while.
talked about those cameras being up, we were able to, they've definitely helped us.
Mhm.
Again, they are civilian cameras, they're not the professional grade cameras that I would like up there, but you're not spending $4,000 on
It's
them.
Beach City.
Right. We did catch one kid move the cameras, tried moving one of them. And we were able to catch him and went up and spoke with him, advised him not to be touching it or he'd be kicked out of the park for that. So other than that, it seems like it's really kind of slowed things down there. There hasn't been vandalism and we really topped it up with kids. My officers are still checking the park when their kids are there and have made contact with several kids. They're just touching base with them.
Well, and they shouldn't be there after dusk now.
Correct. So I get notified on my phone when there's kids there and it's not going off right now, so that's a plus. And if I do get a notification after dark that someone's there, I'll send an officer there to have them removed.
Do we still have a sign up there that disputes the time dawn to dusk before the sign said to a certain time or something?
I
10
believe it's
o'clock.
still there till, the sign is probably still there. I have not, I don't know.
It says till 10 o'clock.
Okay, so we need to have Rick move it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause
There's been times I went
we
there
had told
afterwards and
Jim
walked
to
through,
get signs that said
just
dusk.
checking everything over,
And he got.
and I might still do that.
You're fine.
So if you ever see me on the thing, you'll know what I'm
That
doing.
before he resigned.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Okay, Greg, you're up, building inspector.
First things first, I would like to have an executive session for personnel
To discuss
to discuss
discipline or
this.
removal.
Make a motion for executive session for personnel to discuss discipline.
Second,
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
yes.
and Chuck.
Okay, Greg.
All right, I'll kind of kick off where we left off with Quicksall with that. I didn't realize that we need an ordinance to have you sign off on that, John, but we'll get that done. We had a lot of wind damage here yesterday, the 15th. We had a tree limb, which not so much a limb, just it was probably about the size of a trash can lit around, came down on our south end of our utility lines, almost directly across from where you enter Beach City Dam at. And with that, we had a Dover utility come out to set a new pole for us, and also had another outage on Manchester that was able to be fixed in-house. Other than that, we have all materials now for County 1 to be done. We received the hood assembly this past Friday, so I'll be working with Lonnie, and we're also gonna need to set a pole for their We have everything we need for that though, so that's gonna go really quick once we get everything out there. The Derek Digger truck that we were looking at Sunshine Rental, or Sunshine Equipment, was inspected at an international dealership. I just spoke with the gentleman from Sunrise today. There was one thing on it, it wasn't even flashing any codes or signals on it that were wrong, but there was an injector pressure reducer that they replaced, Sunrise Equipment replaced it at their cost. Aside from that, everything is good to go with that truck, with that Derek Digger truck we talked about, that's at 2018. And that's the one for 165,000.
So we're gonna need that to put the pole in out there, right?
Correct, yeah. A pull in there, and if we ever get another call out like we had last night, then we're gonna need a digger truck again, because that was one if we had had a digger truck and had we had people show
I'll make a
up.
motion to purchase a truck.
Second that.
Did you vote to go back into return from executive session?
No, I just said,
Yeah, and I seconded it. You said,
I didn't hear you second it.
I didn't
Yeah.
either. Okay, so Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
yes.
Bailey,
Yes,
and Scott?
Yes.
Okay, so Bailey, you just made a motion for the purchase,
Oh.
of the digger truck,
for 160.
for 160 what?
4,000.
Hold on, get the exact figure for me.
That was 64.5.
Now, this is fluid too, because he also, it may be a little less than that, because of the fact that we're looking at our old digger truck possibly being able to be traded in on it. So the price on this one is 164,500, 164,500.
Okay, motion by Bailey.
I seconded it.
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Try to get as much out of that truck as you can.
Yeah, I spoke with him today about it. He wants to know a lot of information, so he may be coming down here and looking at it as well, so. And he had to run it past his superiors. The other thing that I was looking at too, and I wanted to make people aware of it because there's been a lot of questions about it. Right now, we're looking at leaf pickup continuing until the day before Thanksgiving. I was talking with Rick about that, just because everybody's kind of been asking about it. So that'll happen until the day before Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving Eve. Our John Deere tractor, I talked with the gentleman at John Deere that's in charge of that. It is in fabrication, and he said that we should have that in under a month. So there's a couple parts because of this whole COVID thing that weren't exactly ready that we had ordered with it. One being the forks, which we got longer forks because they didn't have the ones in stock that they needed that were smaller than ours, but so we got something better there. The other thing I wanted to bring up, were we looking at possibly doing Zoom meetings for this instead of doing this if the whole COVID thing kind of goes bigger? We've done, we did it once or before, I wasn't sure, or do them over at the fire. That was just something I was thinking of, and that was my last thing to bring up. I'm not sure what we were thinking with that, or if we were looking at doing that.
I'm not for it. Brittany brought up about the leaves. They haven't been up to your place at all?
They have once, but they're just keep getting blown around and blown around. They stopped at the other road and just turned, but, yeah, they're still.
Are we gonna get them vehicles, fixed?
What vehicles we doing?
There's a bottom in the bottom of one of them, is it,
A street sweeper.
Street sweeper.
We can look at that. I'm not sure on if it's gonna have to be fabricated or if it would be a replacement part. And at a replacement part, I don't even think Elgin makes street sweepers anymore, and that's in 1981. So.
Can you check with the guy that does our generators, if he knows of anybody?
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good welder too.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure exactly how bad it is if we replace that, if it's gonna be part of the actual, the drum system on, or if it seals, or if it's an actual, a metal issue, I'm not sure. I'll get with Rick about
When I
it.
called up and did mine in the back of the garbage truck, same kind of thing.
Mhm,
Was, it's curved,
mhm,
I got it in here and had somebody weld it in for me.
mhm. Yeah, and we gotta see the extent on it. I know there's a lot of wear to it, but I'll talk with Rick about that too. It's a 1981.
Okay, on the leaf pickup, is, if he has anything left over, he normally went out with the front end loader
Mhm.
and picked up the leaves. Is that what you're gonna do again?
I am not sure about that. I know that sometimes when they become frozen, that's all you can do, because you can't move them. I normally try to pick them
I
up.
just don't wanna see them all sitting out there all year over the winter time if we can help it. Because then we end up plowing them.
Yeah.
What's the rest of you think? Is that okay? You're gonna quit on the day before Thanksgiving, right?
Correct.
A lot of times leaves, some of the trees ain't down yet.
That's true, but they're pretty much all down now.
Yeah, that storm yesterday took.
I would think this storm probably did a lot of good.
Yeah, it did.
Is that okay?
Yeah, those 8 hours I was out yesterday was great, so. Other than assuming anything, that's all I got. So-
On the truck, if the guy's coming down here, let him drive it home. That way we don't have no liability.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that. Like I said, he was requesting a lot about it. He needed to talk to his superiors there as well, kind of see what where they were at with it. So there's still more to be done on that, but I'll be talking with him tomorrow morning.
So see if you can get him to go up the end of 7th Street if you got any leaves up there. Are there any left after that storm?
I didn't particularly look, but I'm pretty sure they're still there.
Tell him to look at it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Greg. Mr. Bailey?
So, the, one thing that I wanted to discuss was the question that was raised regarding making a change from a clerk treasurer, which is the elected position, to the appointed fiscal officer position. And I previously referenced the statute 733.262, which had an effective date of the first day of January following the next regular municipal election at which the village clerk or clerk treasurer is to be elected. So that portion of the statute relates to when the position is filled. When somebody is seated in it, you essentially can't terminate the elected term for a clerk or clerk treasurer until the term has expired. There's another provision in there, after I looked at it further, which states when a vacancy exists, then legislation by ordinance or resolution to combine the duties into the appointed office of fiscal officer, and that change shall take effect on the effective date of the ordinance or resolution.
Oh,
So,
good.
in looking at what the potential legislation would be, I wasn't sure where that would be, because currently it would have to be at the first day of January following the next regular election. If it were to become vacant, then it would be on the effective date of the ordinance or resolution. That's also supported by the Auditor of State's Village Officer Handbook, which stated the same thing as it relates to a vacant position. And then the only piece of that would be, it requires a 2/3 vote of council, and it should be, notice of that, by certified copy should be provided to the Board of Elections not less than 120 days before the date of the next succeeding municipal primary election. You guys have municipal primary elections in Beach City, correct?
Mm-hmm. Something,
Okay, I mean, if there's the
yeah,
candidates.
like a
that-
day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then you would certify to the Board of Elections, and I'm sure it's been done in the past, so I think you could contact the Board of Elections and they would tell you what their prescribed procedure is for it. So I just wanted to update everybody on that. And I did type up an email on it and send it to President of Council, the Mayor, Clerk Treasurer, and I believe the Administrator. So if anybody else would like that, I'm happy to send it along. Other than that, I do not have anything. I do.
I can get a
Oh.
copy of it, but do you know what? I still don't understand everything you said. I
Okay.
really don't, I normally can.
The biggest takeaway is effective date seemed like it would be really convoluted, and instead, it's rather simple. It's the effective date of the ordinance or resolution if the seat is vacant.
Okay, let's start over again. Her time is up, what, 2 years from now?
March,
Yeah, but you'd have to run in November.
right, my term is up March of 2023. I have to run in November of 2022.
Okay. Now, if I go from there, if you go from there, now I can understand maybe a little bit.
Okay, and next week, the clerk treasurer submits notice of resignation saying that she's no longer intending to occupy the seat of clerk treasurer for the village.
Okay.
The seat then becomes vacant. Council could then, by 2/3 vote, pass legislation that would modify the position from an elected clerk treasurer to an appointed fiscal officer pursuant to 733.262.
What happens if we wait until her term is up?
Then you get to 733.262A, which would mean you'd fill out the remainder of the term, and you could pass the same legislation. The effective date would be first day of January following the next regular municipal election at which you would have been elected.
I got it.
You got it now.
I will leave early and make it very simple.
I don't want you to leave early, what are you talking?
Oh, I don't either. I'm not implying that. I'm just answering.
No, it'll just make it easier. If I turn in my resignation prior to November of 2022, that gives me 2 years. You can put the ordinance into effect and,
Actually, you got voted in last year, right? So just, your term just started this year, so you actually are going, your term's
I've got next
Actually,
year,
and-
22, and into March of 23.
and
Actually, she's
24.
already got 2
You
years.
got- No, and you got March of 24, you were just sworn in this year.
I'm going early, doesn't matter.
Well, I understand, but I'm just saying. Well, I know you're gonna get out of here, that's fine. All right,
So, and then the other thing that I almost forgot was the City of Athens Supreme Court case had come down, and the Ohio Supreme Court struck as unconstitutional the portion of, if you remember, the legislation that would require income tax collection to be centralized in Columbus. They struck down the fee portion of that said they're going to retain a portion of it as a fee, but held constitutional the central collection mechanism. Councilman McKinney had sent to me a lame duck watch by Ohio Municipal League that urged member municipalities to pass a resolution urging that they repeal Section 29 of House Bill 197, which was the centralized collection. And I did prepare the legislation for that and send it off to, I think, the same people as the previous, and included you on it. So I don't know if that was read during, if that was read during
So
legislation.
actually, we would be joining the whole group in the state of Ohio that don't want it.
You are, it's kind of a symbolic resolution to urge the legislature to do what you want.
And do we have this resolution?
Yeah, I sent it over yesterday. 154.
Well, no mail came to Beach City today.
No, I
No,
emailed.
he
Oh,
emailed it.
okay, I'm sorry.
I didn't print it.
Okay.
I just got the first page, I didn't get the second page. I just printed it, I just printed the first page, I didn't know till, I didn't realize I hadn't printed the actual.
The attachment to it?
ordinance,
Okay.
Can we pass it the next meeting, or when do we have to?
Well, they're going into lame duck section right now. It's in between now and January. So,
If you wanna give me a minute, I can go back and open up my computer and print it off.
I'd like to get it in there if we can do it legally.
Is that printer wireless?
Hmm?
Is that printer wireless?
What printer?
over here.
No.
Okay.
George, if you send it to me, I can print it.
I'll forward it to you right now if you want.
Yeah, if you want to forward it to me, I'll print it off from my computer over here.
Okay, sir. Forward in your now.
Is it, you say it's a resolution?
It is.
Okay. And then you have to tell me where I'm supposed to send it after it's printed and signed, because I have no idea.
I do know I'd like to see a copy go to the bill that comes here all the time. One copy to him for sure.
Bill Romer, I think you said?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The other one I think would be Gibbs, isn't it?
Don't know.
Gibbs,
I think
I
he's
don't
the other
think-
part
He's
about
not
it.
ours.
it's not ours.
He's not, okay.
This is,
Gibbs is Stark County, or Tuscarawas County down that way.
I know
runs all the way
Romer,
up to
because he's come,
The Erie, up to the lake. He comes all the way from the lake, all the way down through. But I can't remember, they changed all that stuff and I can't remember which is which.
Did it go through?
It's, my computer's been slow
Oh,
at all times.
Who is our legislature, Steve? Isn't it Roma and Gibbs?
I know.
No, it's Romer, and then there's a lady, I can't remember what her name is right now.
She got out.
She did?
I don't think she's in there any longer.
No, well, the one lady who sent me a thing,
I think Gibbs runs all the way from Lake Erie down to so far below us.
Is
105 East Main Street.
How many copies do you need, Steve?
Yeah, 44608.
mhm.
More than one member was found for this zip code. What's the, do we know the +4 on
I don't.
Debbie, how many copies do you need?
8,
8?
Lee?
it? Okay, Bill Romer and Christina Rogner.
That's who it is, yep. I knew it was a lady.
Christina Rodner.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing her on the ballot.
Right. No, we're waiting for this. Is there any other business? Anybody else want, have anything to say?
Yes, I have something. First of all, I want to ask Deb on the bills, or not the bills, but the thing from the bank. You had a thing in there for, and we think we know what it is, but we'll let you explain it. Stark Regional Planning was $5,052.30. Is that where they're doing the,
Oh, you're looking at the bills, the GIS is what it is,
yes.
where they're going around walking and doing all the lines, yeah.
That's what I told her, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I
that's
told her
definitely
that.
what it was.
There was one other question she had. Which one was that? There you go.
The other one was on the solar. You have 6,386.
And I told her we pay that every month, and then, to the solar people,
What is her question?
okay? She seen the $6,000 that we paid for.
You wanna know why I paid
Yeah.
it? Because they're still billing us for solar power from, yeah, that's the farm.
That's what I thought.
And the contract requires you guys to buy all of the power generated. 100%.
Yeah, and I didn't, yeah, but that
Where you gonna buy it from somebody?
is, yeah, but we didn't realize it when we bought that.
Yeah, but the theory was that Mr. Madden, he wanted to diversify our portfolio because the state was making us buy so much solar power. We had to buy it from somewhere, so he did it that way. What did you say?
You see all right there?
Yeah.
And the second thing I wanted to ask about, I received Debbie's thing on, where we brought up questions about the, rules and regulations on the water and sewer department. Thank you. We did do our research on that, and we were aware that the village administrator has the option of changing whatever he decides.
Sure.
Then what was the problem? I don't understand what the problem was.
It's the problem of, we're trying to defer a problem that we had in the utility department from, someone making a decision of giving people lenience on their bills and delay them and you can pay it later and all that. And that accumulated into a big problem. The thing we wanna do, what I would like to see done, is not to put that same scenario in place with our water and sewer problem. I know that the ordinance states that he has the option of deciding on who's gonna, how they're gonna do it and who's gonna do it and all that. If it would stay at 6 people, it doesn't look like a problem, but you have how many people that live in town? 180 some residents. If all of a sudden, all the residents decide next summer, well, I'm just gonna read my meter and turn it into the town, and is he gonna make the choice of saying, okay, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it? Now we got a big problem.
Are you talking about the deduct with watering?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were talking about billing at first. I didn't understand what you were talking about. I thought you were talking about billing.
Yes.
Okay.
So it doesn't have anything to do with Greg. He has that power. But I think we ought to do something with that ordinance to correct that we follow what the ordinance says. If we have an ordinance, would you follow it?
They are following it.
Yeah, I
That last
understand
sentence
that.
says that the village administrator back then followed it, told the clerk how to do it. I explained it to the resident. So I don't understand what the problem is. You wanna change the ordinance altogether, change the rules? You wanna wash off, get rid of that book? I mean, I don't know. You have to decide that.
Well, I think, go ahead.
No.
I think we ought to put amendments or something in that we follow what the ordinance says.
But you are following the
I understand
ordinance.
that, but if you take out that part in there where the administrator has the option of the decision of who does it and who doesn't do it, then you might as well not have the ordinance. You might as well stay ready, do it however you want to do it.
I think you're getting confused, the ordinance itself and the book, which is the rules and regulations book. The ordinance says that we're supposed to follow it, but if there's something changes, the village administrator had the right to adjust the rules and regulations, and that's what Don did. So you wanna get rid of the book?
I don't want to get rid of anything. I want to go by what the ordinance says.
You are going by the,
I
what the ordinance
understand
says.
that, but you've got that part in there where the administrator tells the people whatever he decides.
He doesn't tell the people, he told Cindy how to handle
Okay.
it. So you wanna change the ordinance then?
You mind if I look at it quick?
I don't know if I brought it.
If you wanna change the ordinance to follow the book, then you need to rewrite the ordinance to follow the book, and then the people have to pay the money that the book says.
If
It's
you
not,
want, if you want
it's
that,
not
I
hard
can-
to follow.
I can find it.
You want to add to that?
Apparently, there's no reason to.
I mean, if you don't wanna follow that ordinance, you rewrite the ordinance, you take that sentence out that doesn't give him the right to change anything in those rules and regulations, and you follow that rules and regulations book, and the people that wanna do it have to either A, don't do it, or B, we get them the meters, which we're not going to. Unless he wants to invest $1,000 in the training and to buy the meters, which I think that everything came to like $350 or $400.
Do you see any problem down the road? Maybe I asked the wrong person. In 5 or 10 years, do you see a problem in that department?
No. Not with that, no, not with that particular thing, no. Because of right now, she has, I think she said 6 to 10, or even if 10 people. I personally water my garden, am I gonna call her to get a deduct?
It's kind of a catch-22, because I can even say we had sewer deduct meters with the city of Philly, and the only people that had them were the people that had gigantic houses and not could afford to pay the $185 for the meter, and then for us to come out to install the meter, which is about another $150. So you're looking at a $300, increment of fee right there, to where if you're watering, it is possible that it could become an issue, but not as big as I think we're making it out to be.
And another thing,
If 6
too,
people have them, it's not a big deal.
But-
I mean,
There's 6 people now, but nobody knew this until Debbie said in the meeting that all you
Well-
gotta do is call and tell Cindy.
Well, there's 6 people that have deduct meters, or that have meters for their outside, is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about, there's supposedly 6 people that call and tell Cindy, we're gonna water our garden, this is our reading, and this is our reading when we're done watering our garden, deducted from our sewer.
Okay,
That was my understanding.
okay.
But if people, when this gets out to all of the, our big fans
Oh, yeah.
in town, how many of them are gonna decide, well, we're gonna do that
They're
too?
still gonna be using the water, and they're just gonna, the thing about it is, I think we're making mountains out of molehills.
Well, I'm thinking just take out the part that says you have to buy a meter to do whatever.
Mhm.
The thing isn't the ordinance, it's just get that wording out of there, because it just.
Was
when-
this discussed at the last utility meeting? Was this
Yes.
what- okay, all right,
That's what the meeting was about,
okay.
but apparently whoever was attending didn't understand that. I just think that,
So what you wanna do then is rewrite the rules and regulations book.
just that one part,
See, that's what you have to get across to what you want done.
that's what I'm saying, if we take that out,
And what do you want put in there? Anything?
I don't think there should be a deduct.
So you don't want them to call in anything and get credit for it?
Yeah,
Well,
Say
I
that-
mean, how much are they saving?
a buck or two.
Well, I was gonna say to water your garden, near nothing.
Yeah,
If they would be filling a swimming pool, to
call the
me,
fire department.
well, sometimes they used to use their hoses.
Mhm.
That would be a lot of money, but that's also a lot of time and the value, I would call the fire department myself. So you need to find out who's got that on their computer, take that part out. Then you'd have to do a new ordinance accepting the book with the changes.
And so who does the rules? That's what, we don't know who did that book of rules and regulations.
That was done by Dan Pricing. It was designed from the city of Oroville, and he put it in and did a flip-flop with some wording, and
So he has it properly.
Oh, yeah, everybody,
maybe
I
on his
mean,
computer, it's not mine.
rules and regulations, I got hard copy and on my computer, though. yeah.
That's what I'm saying though, so
You're looking for water and sewer rules and regulations, correct? For
Yeah.
all that's in, yeah, I have all that.
just that one part where it says, you know, the $300 or the meter and the this and the that and all the
Yeah,
other,
and like I said,
which I know that.
yeah, and
mean,
I understand what we're talking about, I guess I probably should have been at that utilities meeting, but with all the ones that we had in New Philly, which we're talking 8,400 water customers, 90% of the people that had sewer deduct meters, which we always just, the only thing we ever called them were like, oh, it's their sprinkler meter. Those people that were rich enough to have a sprinkler system that consumed a lot of water. What we're looking at with this is very small, and I understand the difference on it. I'll find it in rules and regulations where it brings that up, and we can look at it next council meeting, I could have it ready, and we can modify it in rules and regulations if you want to. I'd be more comfortable doing it at a utilities meeting first, though, instead of just bringing it right up.
Well,
to
that's
council.
what we were trying to do
Okay.
at the utilities meeting.
Okay,
But-
like I said, I wasn't here for it, so.
You know what,
So-
with only 6 people, see what you think. Just eliminate the whole ordinance, how's that sound?
You can't
No.
use the book without the ordinance. You've gotta have the ordinance.
The ordinance is fine. It's just that one part in the rules and regulations book. I think that's what's confusing, is we have an ordinance and then we have this whole book that you have to reference to understand what the ordinance is saying. That's confusing.
Exactly, but that's how it was
And
designed.
I understand that. But, and I think here it's being made a mountain out of a molehill, because very simple is what we were discussing, was something very simple, but people didn't understand it and thought we were talking about.
Well, I think when Councilman Bennett would say ordinance, she was meaning the book. There was confusion there. You've gotta get that, you have to get that part straight, and then Cindy has to know that she's no longer gonna be doing this. And when she trains, anybody that calls in the future, we don't do that anymore. I mean, that part's.
And I think that would just be the simplest thing, because I can't see where people are saving that much money by, by doing that.
Oh, well, it's only, what, $6 for 1,000 gallons?
Or something.
Well, no.
But does that make sense? I mean,
What
Yeah.
really would make sense, does it help, is if you go through that before your next meeting,
I've got the papers.
yeah, the next meeting, for that book,
Mhm.
and go through and go over every inch of that book, so anything that he needs to change, he does it all at once.
And do you have a copy of the rules and regulations book, or do you need a copy?
I do not have a copy of the
Okay,
book,
okay,
I
you
just
got it.
have a couple of rules and regulations.
Does anybody else want a copy of that?
You
as
can
well?
email it even.
Yeah, would you email me?
Yeah, sure. All right, so a lot of them. I can scan that in and send it over as a PDF file, or if you want the physical copy of it, do you prefer PDF or?
I prefer physical myself.
Physical copy?
Because that's why I printed out the stuff
All right.
Steven sent. I
Want to kill
always
some
print
trees?
out.
Hazel, how about you? Physical
Yes.
copy or PDF?
Good.
All right, Stephen, PDF.
Please.
All right.
And thank you for getting this ready for us.
Oh.
Anybody else?
I was thinking,
No?
who in the heck is DKR?
Well,
Okay,
the resolution, is that gonna be 2012 then?
what do we have it on? Yeah,
Okay.
we got interrupted when we started to do that.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't you, it was Bailey.
2012?
It's resolution number 2012, a resolution strongly opposing Senate Bill 352 and House Bill 754, legislation proposing the repeal of section number 29 of the House Bill 197, which will result in a myriad of, I didn't even see it all, unintended consequences through Ohio's entire municipal income tax system. Cause a substantial loss of revenue that will impede the ability of municipalities to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of the municipal residents and businesses, and thereby jeopardize the future economic growth of the state of Ohio.
I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second, what's the number on it, sir? Yes, 2020?
No, 2012.
Yes, I used the draft legislation.
2012.
I didn't do that to you on purpose.
I was gonna say, that really,
Okay, we're gonna suspend the rules. Okay. Bennett,
Yes.
big word.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Motion to pass.
Second,
Bennett,
Yes.
Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Ladies, gentlemen.
Thank you for bringing that to Steve's attention.
Okay.
Thank you for following through.
Thank you, Steve.